An independent consulting firm has completed its review into reports of a toxic environment at Rideau Hall. The Privy Council office triggered the review in July following a CBC News story. More than a dozen former employees and public servants said the Governor-General was verbally harassing employees and that her second-in-command had bullied them as well. CBC's Ashley Burke broke this story initially. She is in our nation's capital.
Well, sources tell CBC News, who've been briefed on this report, that it is scathing. This was first reported this morning by the Globe and Mail, but CBC News has spent the past 6 months covering stories that paint a negative picture of the workplace at Rideau Hall, including employees leaving as well as going on sick leave because of what they call the mistreatment in that building coming from the very top. Now, the head of the Queen's Privy Council, Dominic LeBlanc, is tasked with overseeing this report. His role is to come up with a list of recommendations for the Prime Minister about how to move forward. Sources told CBC News that this report, the nature of it, will be very difficult for the Governor-General to overcome. And if the government does want to remove the Governor-General, that experts say the most likely solution would be that they would go, the Prime Minister would go sit down with Julie Payette and have a discreet conversation and see if she would resign. If she chooses not to, in that case, if it even goes that route, the government could turn to Buckingham Palace to appoint a new Governor-General, but that would be unprecedented. It has never happened in Canada, and that would go down in history books.
And just take a moment, remind me and our viewers of the allegations, Ashley.
Well, 6 months ago to this day, we broke a story about the Governor-General and her second-in-command, Assunta De Lorenzo, claims at that time that for more than a dozen former employees, along with public servants, who accused Julie Payette of berating, publicly humiliating staff, reducing some to tears. A lot of this was centered around her feeling that people at the office were not doing enough, that there was too much weight on her shoulders, and the sources claim that she thought she was doing everything and would have what they called tantrums or bursts of emotion at staff. Now, several people, there have been waves of people that have left the office because of the treatment. It used to be considered one of the most collegial workplaces in the public service, but sources told us that it turned into, quote, a house of horrors. Payette's second-in-command, Assunta De Lorenzo, is also accused of bullying staff. This is her longtime friend. She's also a lawyer in the past, and she's in a position where people said that she was calling, sources said that she was calling people lazy and incompetent, also reducing them to tears. Now, we've now learned today that De Lorenzo has hired her own lawyer, that this happened recently. And as well, in total, Rideau Hall has spent more than $150,000 as of the beginning of this month in legal fees itself. That includes hiring a former Supreme Court of Justice to represent Julie Payette, as well as Blake's law firm to represent the institution itself. Now, Julie Payette from the beginning has said that she takes workplace harassment very seriously, that she welcomed this review. Now we're waiting to see what will be made public.
At CBC's Ashley Burke in Ottawa.